Hi crafters, it's Kathy with Scrap and Bean here today. Let's do some scrapbooking. So this is something new or fairly new from Simple Stories. They've come out with several of these page kits which are called Simple Pages. So I decided to dig into one, and I have. They give you 4 single page layouts which work as 2 double page layouts, and I like the double page ones. So this kit gives you all of the papers, embellishments, die cuts, instructions, pictures of the finished kits, everything you need. And this really is Simple Pages. It is so simple. So I did the first 2 and then realized I should just share how simple this really is. So this is what you get in the kit with your pictures of what your projects are going to look like. They do give you colored instructions for each of the pages. And this is the set of pages, the 2 pages that I completed already, which is kind of, let's see, can I get it on film here? Somewhere over there. Anyways, that I can't get it on film. Something like that. Anyways, so there's your first page, which is really cute. And all of these embellishments are right in there. And then there's your second page. And what I do notice with their kits is they give you spaces for several photos on a layout, because I know some of you like to do that, just get through several photos on a project. So there's 2 pages, but watch along and we'll make the second 2 pages. So here they give you a nice diagram of this is what we're heading for, except I got lots of glare. There we go. And there's the instructions, and so they give you the instructions kind of 1 page at a time. And here's what they're inside the envelope, inside the folder, inside the kit that you get. This is what it looks like. So they have even these little flag tips. They're all cut for you. They've got all the words for you, and you just punch them out. So there's lots of embellishments in here. You can see some I already punched out. For the other pages, these are some chipboard pieces, and then they give you your base papers, and these are designed so they look as if you've already got some layers on there. Now I will say the thickness of this paper, it's not the same quality that I normally see from Simple Stories, from this brand, or even from the typical scrapbook papers that we carry at Scrap and Bean. This is a very thin, it's a much thinner paper, but it's working. So let's start with this first page here. And our instructions tell us to put the background sheet on our work surface and add the red photo corners to the top. So then we can just see where our red photo corners, and we can find them on our embellishments, and they just poke out really easily. And it looks like we're going to need 2 for this side. And when you do poke them out, sometimes you get this little nib, and I just take my pair of scissors, and I like to just trim that little nib off because I don't care for the look of it. You could also just take like a fine nail file and just sand that off too. You can modify the kit as you like. So if you're an experienced scrapbooker and you want to do things like ink your edges, you could certainly do that too. Nothing says you have to follow all the rules of the kit. It's just kind of a starting point. But for anybody that hasn't scrapbooked for a while, or maybe has never done a scrapbook, this is a great way to get into it and get some ideas, and you get a couple pages done, well, 4 pages, really quick, and you can feel that hallelujah of success, and then it'll inspire you to make some more. So there's our first step already done. Then what does it say on here? We're going to add the teal floral banner strip horizontally. So teal floral banner. That looks like this strip here that's got some teal, and it does have a little bit of a print on there. Pop that right out. And that's going to go across the page here somewhere. And they're telling us it's going to go 4 3/4 inches down from the top of this. 4 3/4. Seems kind of high for me, but anyways, that's about right there. And then they want us to take out this other banner strip here. Both of these, actually. This kind of reminds me of doing paper dolls when I was a kid, where you'd poke out the dolls and poke out their clothes. This is just that easy, actually. Okay, and this is going to go along the bottom here somewhere. And I see that you can see on here I was a little bit too rough and I tore it a bit. So here's what you do when you have a problem. You just cover it up, right? We can take this banner, instead of putting it next to it, we'll just overlap it. And there, my little rip is gone. Okay, so 4 3/4. They want me to put this much higher than I would naturally put it, but we'll go with that. I don't know. Is that really going to be right? This is going to go above it? I guess so. I guess they know what they're talking about. So I'm just going to put down a small piece of adhesive at the end here. I can always stick a little bit more adhesive underneath it if I find it needs it later. And then this next color, a little bit more. And of course you use whatever kind of adhesive you like to use. And I better put adhesive down at that end, I see. Maybe I'll just sprinkle a little bit of liquid adhesive down there. And then this one, I'm going to overlap that a little bit just to cover, actually you don't really see that tear anymore, but I'm going to overlap it anyways. And if you're concerned about getting these straight, the pattern paper they have in the background actually has lines on it, so you can just follow that line and know that you have it straight. So how easy. Okay, the next thing it's telling us to do, am I off camera even? Yeah. So the next thing on our instructions is to take 3 photos that are 3 inch by 4 inch and put them in a row above our banner. So I don't have any photos ready, but I did cut white pieces of paper that will represent where my photos go. So they want us to have 3 of these. So this would be, normally you would just put down your photo instead of paper. And we'll kind of center that. They probably tell me the measurements, but you know, I'm not always one to read instructions, so this will just show you things can turn out even if you don't read instructions. And if it doesn't turn out like the picture, well, it wasn't meant to be, right? Shh, don't tell. Don't tell that I don't always follow. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little spot of adhesive behind those. Oop. Oh my. And I'll put one on each end. And then in the one in the center, I'm just going to center it between the other two. There. And I even do this when I'm attaching my photos. I don't always attach the bottom of them. They can just hang free. Because if I'm going to put it in a scrapbook, it's going behind a page protector, and that's just going to hold everything down. So as long as I'm using a decently strong adhesive, I just need a little bit. I don't need like every edge to be cemented down onto my project. So that might be a little tip to save you on your adhesives. But if you use an adhesive that is not very strong, then you do need to put quite a bit on there. Then we're going to put a teal chipboard binder clip. So it's going to be out of chipboard. Here we go, right here. So easy to find. And even on these chipboard pieces, if you need to cut off a little nib, you can just snip them off with your scissors or take a nail file to it. But if you're going to use a nail file, use a fine one and go easy, because you can chew up paper and chipboard pretty quick. So now if I'm going to attach this here and they want it to overlap your photos, and I think it looks quite cute like that, but I don't actually have my photo in here, right? So I don't want to glue it down because then I can't put my photo in. But if I glue just the top, like this little white area here on each one, then I can later take a photo and just slip it underneath that. So that's what I'm going to do. Just putting glue on half of it is going to be plenty to hold it there. And so I've just got glue on the top, none on this bottom area. And it's the bottom area that is going over top of my photo. So that will be fine. Then I can still slip a photo in there later, and that'll be really easy to do. We have had, since this whole pandemic thing started, I have been getting more frequently people come in that have never scrapbooked before, and it's kind of overwhelming to get started because, you know, our stores are huge and we have so many options. And I know those of you who've been scrapbooking a long time, you come in and you think, oh, I can't even find what I'm looking for. But people that have never scrapbooked, it's overwhelming because there's just so many choices. So kits are a great way to handle if you're overwhelmed, and of course it makes for it fast. So what else we got here? The chipboard rainbow at the left corner. So this is this cute little rainbow piece here. Love it. And there's this little, looks like a potted plant or something there, and a butterfly. That one's so cute. And something else came off my hand. Oh, another potted plant. Don't need it quite yet. Okay, so there's just one little nib. So there's not even many nibs on these things. So we'll do, and again, this is going to overlap my photo. So I'll just make sure that I'm putting adhesive on the parts that do not overlap the photo. And just because I'm using glue doesn't mean you have to use liquid glue. You could do the same thing if you're using double-sided tape. Just put pieces of it on the bottom instead of all over the top, and then you'll get that same result where you can easily add in a photo. And then we put this little potted plant there, and I think I'm going to use a little sponge adhesive here, foam adhesive. And that'll just pop it up a little bit higher level than the rest and make it kind of interesting. And again, my foam adhesive, I gotta move that one because that top one's going to be right where the photo is. Move it down a little bit lower because I want to be able to put my photo there. And there's a butterfly off here. And We just might have a guest designer show up. Oh, there we go, Kitty. Here's our butterfly. And of course the cat sits right on my instructions. Okay, it's better if you don't have a helper when you scrapbook. And the medium red and orange. Okay, so some little hearts. They want us to have these little hearts going up here from the butterfly, which is really cute. So you just find those on your chipboard sheet, and we can glue those down too. And they have this one heart that is hanging partially over your photo. So by now you know what I'm going to do is just put the adhesive on the part that's not hanging over the photo. And then this one, we can stick it all the way down because it's not on top of our photo. And then the rest of this page has this little happy across the bottom. Oh, Kitty, that's not really for you. So this one now, I'm going to go a little more gentle than I have been, just to make sure. I don't want to rip it. It's actually not that bad. Like, it's not that fragile. It's just sometimes I get a little bit, maybe a little too aggressive for paper. This is a nice title because it's quite generic. Like, it can go with a lot of different photos. The photos don't have to be any certain occasion. It could just be your everyday pictures. Okay, so now we do this happy across this banner. And they're showing it actually up so that it's, oh, the center of my A needs to come out. So it's a little bit above the photos, but I think I've got so much space down here, I'm just gonna make it a little bit lower. And am I even on camera anymore? No. I've got more cat on there than page. Let's see if okay, so with my happy title here, to help me get it straight, this background paper has some lines on there, and I'm just going to pick one of those lines and line up all of my letters so that the bottom of them is right along one of those lines. So it's kind of a easy way to get things to line up straight, and I don't even have to get a ruler out. And I'm trying to be gentle with my glue so that I put it kind of in the center area and try not to put so much that it would squish out on me. And then of course I am using a Dries Clear glue, so in case it does squish out, at least I won't see a white blob, it would just be a clear blob. So you can see just how quick this goes. I should have timed it actually to see, not that I'm trying to speed, but just to show you how quickly you can actually put some projects together. I know sometimes you feel like it's overwhelming. You have so many photos you want to get into your scrapbook page that how will you ever get them all done? Well, this is one way that makes it go really fast. And then you can always use the design from this, switch up the papers, and reuse it for, you know, Halloween. You could do the same design, but do it for Halloween. Pick out some papers that are Halloween colors. You could do it for a wedding. You can just switch it up for anything. So useful that way. And I think that page is done. So that was pretty quick. Doesn't really all fit on camera, but you get the idea. It's there. Now we can do this last page, which is this one here, and it comes It looks like it's layered, but this is all one sheet of paper, just printed like that. And so they're telling us to put this is our background sheet, and then to put these red corners on the paper again. And where have I done with my red corners? Here they are. And I don't know if they give you any extra pieces that aren't used. I guess we'll find out. This one's got a couple nibs, so I just want to trim that off just to neaten it up a little bit. And a little bit of glue. And a little bit of glue on this one. And just put that down there. And now you can see where the red little corners on that page and the red little corners on this page, they're all kind of matchy-matchy. And then what does it tell us to do here? Add the short teal floral strip horizontally. So we want short teal. This would be it. And then we're going to have some more that I don't see. Oh, it's one that the cat took off with. My little non-helper. There we go. So we're going to put those down next. And yeah, we want them to line up with this page here. So sometimes I do bring in my first page, and we'll do that here, just to make sure that these stripes are supposed to be a continuation from one page to the next. So I'm going to lay them down in the same order. I'll put this teal one down first. We know where they're going to go, so I'm getting dangerous with my glue there. Just put it all down. Make sure that my two pages are lined up nice first. There, they're perfectly lined up. So if I line up this strip, it should be exactly where I want it to go. And then remember, on the first page, I took this and overlapped it a little bit. So this time we're going to overlap it again, just so it's the same. And there we go, they all match. And then, oh, then they want us to put another photo on there. That's easy. But again, I want it to line up with my other photos, kind of. So, about, what do you think, about right there? That seems good. And another one of these clips, these little chipboard clips. And again, I'm just going to glue on the top. And get those about even with the others. That glue holds really quite nicely. Okay, and then what does it tell us? A yellow bracket journal. So this thing here, I'm looking for, here we go. Even though my desk gets in a mess. Oh, and I got cords hanging. And this is going to, great spot for some journaling. And it's just going to go onto here. So we can glue that down, and I'm just kind of centering it centering it from my photo there. That's probably what they tell you to do, but, you know, again, why read instructions if you can just look at it and figure it out? Okay, then add the red polka dot strip vertically to the page. So I need a red polka dot strip, which is probably this one here. And the orange strip. And what did it say to do with that one? 1/2 inch from the left edge of the pink dot grid. Ooh. Okay, so that's probably about 1/2 inch. Yeah, you don't have to be super particular, right? At least I don't feel like I have to be. And that's about 1/2 inch. Actually, what I'm doing is lining it up with, on the background here, on this paper, there's little, on this paper here, there's little squares like a grid. So if I line it up there, and then I line it up at the top against that same grid, then you know it's straight. And then this one, I'm just going to put right next to it. That looked like I put a lot of glue there, but it wasn't squeezing out the whole time. And I'm going to overlap that slightly. There we go. And then what does it tell us to do? Then add your photo to the teal mat. So there must be a teal mat someplace. Oh, that would be this. This is nice. They even cut out your photo mats for you. That's kind of cool. And pretty sure I cut out another piece for that size photo. Whew, I did. So normally you would either have your photos ready to go, or sometimes I add the photos later. And then this is going to get added right over top of some of this. And I'm going to put it probably about right there. Now, where was that? About right there. Maybe down a little further. There we go. It's down. That's where it's going to stay. And there's some more stuff here. I'm looking for this little thing. Oh, making a mess, making a mess. Okay, that's not really my goal to make a mess, but that's just what happens when I create, I guess. Okay, so back at her. This is going to get put down here, and they're having it over the photo, which is, it's kind of gives a nice look and integrates your photo into the page, I think. When you have things slightly overlapping, especially if it's not covering somebody's face or an important element in the photo. And this little stack of books here, oh my gosh, they're so cute. I really like those. Oh, and I put the glue everywhere. Okay, so it won't go on much of my photo here. Is that upside down? No, I think that's the right way. Stack of books. I guess it doesn't matter if it's upside down or not. And then we're going to have some little hearts over here. These little heart pieces are so cute. Ooh, that was a lot of glue. Okay, so if I got too much glue on there, put a little bit of it onto my next piece. There you go. There's a few little hearts up there that's kind of cute. And some butterflies. And it does look like they give us some extra pieces on here, which is fun. You can always use that on another project. There's a butterfly and, oh, here's another butterfly. So this one's going to be half off the photo, so I'm going to put my glue just on that one half so I can put my photo underneath, and I guess that's where he wants to be, is right there. That one's a little bit risky because this could be over somebody's head or something. I'm going to move him off a little bit. So that's the benefit of, I guess, using liquid glue, is you can slide a little bit, get some movement going, push it where you like. And that's it. That's our page. So that fast. We have this page here, which would be the right page, and then we have this one here. We have 4 layouts, and I'll just show you what's left. So there's a few. There's a few little embellishments here. There's a few little pieces of chipboard, some hearts and arrows, and there's this whole sheet of flowers and fabulous and all sorts of things. So you could use this on another project, or you could use some of these and switch it out with the other embellishments that are on here. Oh, and here's even some more. Oh, and here's some more. Oh, here's another one. So yeah, there's all sorts of extra pieces that you can have on there. So do take a look at what we have in stock now for these simple pages. And if you're looking for them on our website, just on the web store, just do a search for Simple Pages, and we've got them in several different designs for different occasions. Have fun scrapbooking!